Good morning and welcome to Leading Life Large. This is Robb Braun. It is Monday, June 17th, and welcome. Uh, it's 10 a.m. here on the West Coast. This is your weekly opportunity to take a look at, identify, help you to see where it is that you may be not living your life full on, where it is that you might be playing it a little slow, whether it be in your business, your relationships, wherever, your physical health, your well-being, your daily milieu. Where is it that you're not living it big? Where is it you're not going big for yourself? Remember, we've only got this one time to be able to do this, and let's get it right. So this is your opportunity once a week, and hopefully I could bring some things in, some topics, some suggestions, some areas where you can gain some insights for yourself to be able to make some adjustments. And if you already are, fantastic. You want to keep doing that. And if you're not, you want to be able to make some changes for yourself. So for those of you that celebrated a Father's Day yesterday, happy belated Father's Day. And I hope you had a fantastic day, and I hope it was an opportunity for you to either be honored, or for those of us who have fathers here or gone, it was an opportunity for you to be able to honor your fathers in whatever was right for you. So hopefully that happened for you. So that's a beautiful segue. As we talk about expressing ourselves and expressing ourselves in the way that's appropriate, um, one of the things we've certainly have to take a look at for ourselves in all areas of our life, and that really is, are we able to fully be ourselves? And for years for me, I know for a good part of my adult life, so much of what I did was about everybody around me being okay. And part of that was, I think, had to do with the order that I was born. I was the oldest, and really took on a people pleasing role, and took on this role of responsibility very early on with my siblings, and that was just a place that was very natural for me to be a good influence on others, make sure everybody's okay. And what can happen, and what certainly did happen for me in there, was losing a huge part of myself. I didn't realize that, but what was happening for me was, even though I believed I was doing things that were in alignment with me, whether it be professionally or relationship wise, or everything else. What was happening, though, there was an angst inside. There was a restlessness. My wife will ask me often, she'll say, "You feeling restless today?" And that's her way of saying, are you good with your life? Are you good with your ability to express yourself in all areas of your life? Because she knows, and I know for all of us, that if we're not able to full on express ourselves in all of our endeavors, there's a part of us that's missing. So for years, what happened was, I went along and did the right thing. I joined the military, which that was a mostly for me. But when I was in the military, the assignments I took on were assignments that, you know, what I thought was exactly what it was I was supposed to be doing. I took on these real high technical, I was very brainy, and knew math and science and all that. And so I pursued a career that was really not in alignment with me, but was the right thing to do. I mean, who would pass on going for the most prestigious program they had to offer if you have the mental ability to be able to do that? And that's what I did. And I did it thinking this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and that was how I began my career. And and that's how I began a lot of endeavors that I would, if you will, dive into. And that also had to do with relationships. That what I spent a good part of my time in relationships was making sure that everyone else outside of me. So if that was at the time my wife, making sure she's okay. Now that didn't mean that I was completely selfish either. I had my very selfish ways. And part of what would happen is I would I would be operating from a place of, let's make sure everybody's okay. Then it would dig up this angst inside of me and stir up this restlessness inside of me. And then what I was doing was fighting for my own self, and then fighting against those that I thought I was putting before me, or I actually was putting before me, but in many ways it was a conflicting message. Let me look after you. Let me do what makes you okay. And then I would be pissed off that I wasn't getting what I wanted. And I would act out in ways that just didn't make sense. And it wasn't that I was a bad person. It wasn't that I was anything other than the basic piece was there was a part of me that was just unhappy with doing what I was doing because I was not doing things in alignment with who I am. I was not able to express myself. I was not able to express myself in just about anything that I did. Not really. Not really. No, that didn't mean that I wasn't personable. Didn't mean that that there weren't some parts of my life I was okay with. And if you were like I was, you may have even got a life that you say, you know what, I can live with this. And I believe that's what I had. I had a life that I could live with. And I think most of us get to a place where that's exactly what we settle into. Could be worse. It's as good as it gets or can get. And we can live with it. And I think what also happens is we learn to develop a pain threshold. We learn to be okay with not expressing ourselves, be okay with just getting by. And we allow that to be the norm, if you will. And we get good at it. We get good at it. And I'm going to suggest that we probably can do that, and we can do that all the way until we die, whenever that happens to be, whether that's tomorrow or 40 years from now. And that's what our life will have been. Our life will have been just living good enough. It being just good enough not to be terrible. Just good enough not to want us have to leave or even take our own life. Just good enough. My belief is that we have really, if we're expected to live our lives fully and to make our life be what we imagine it can be, that we've got to look at every area of our life and take a look at where it is I may not be fully expressing myself. Now, recently I've talked to a bunch of business owners about how important it is that we be able to fully express ourselves in business, which equates to, am I in the right business? Now, I might be good at something, and something might even make me money. And we might even be successful in the business own right. And if I'm not able to fully express who it is that I am, my gifts, my contribution to the business, what I get back from it, the people that I work with, the people that I work for, if I'm not able to get that back for me, then I would not consider that success in business. I consider that success in making money, but I wouldn't consider that success in business. Not if I'm not able to fully express myself. And here's what I also know to be true. If I can't full on express myself, and this is not fully in alignment with who I am, my successes will be temporary. That's all it's going to be, is temporary. Because I will not be able to sustain the pain that I feel doing something that I don't have joy doing. And what will end up happening is it'll end up being just good enough in business. And what will probably happen is I'll stay in the business, and let's say it's a legitimate business that actually has a need and a want out there, and it sustains itself. And I get along. And then what happens is when I'm not in the drudgery of doing the business, I might look for other escapes, and I might look for other ways that I can distract myself because this is really painful. And it's not where it is that I express myself. So I know there are going to be times temporarily where we're going to have to do what we have to do to be able to make things happen. But our goal has ultimately got to be that we create a business, we create a life with our life partner, we create a life with the people that we are in relationship. I create a life with my body and my relationship with myself physically and spiritually, emotionally and mentally. And I have got to create a life that I'm able to full on express myself, who it is that I am, in relationship to whatever it is that I'm looking myself and comparing myself to. So my invitation to you is to take a look at your career and your job. How do you feel about you in it? Who do you become while you're doing that? Same thing with your primary relationship. Are you able to fully express yourself, or do you keep a part of you tucked away? Is there a part of you that's not able to full on be who it is that you are safely and allow that to be what your relationship looks like? And that can be the same thing with your relationship with your children, relationship with other family members, relationships with friends, relationships with your coworkers, with your boss, the folks that work in your business, your clients. Are you able to full on be who it is that you are in all those environments? Now, that doesn't mean that we don't make adjustments, and we make adjustments all the time. Who it is that I am with just me might be different than who it is, or might appear different parts of me on who it is that I am with my wife, with my son, with my business partners, with my clients. And it's not that I'm not. It's not that I'm withholding a part of who I am. I'm simply making adjustments that are appropriate for the relationships while still maintaining the essence of who it is that I am. So when I'm speaking to a professional audience, I change my language up a little bit. Now, it'll still be on the edge a little bit because that's part of who it is that I am, but I'll clean things up a little bit that's appropriate for that relationship without losing who it is that I am. Same thing with my wife. I'll make sure that I full on express who it is that I am that's appropriate with a relationship. And I cannot hold any part of myself. And here's the thing that happens for all of us. Once we begin to realize who it is that we are in relationship with it, whether it be relationships, our business and our career, our ability to make money, our bodies, our physical selves, and every other thing that we're involved in out there, what will happen is we'll begin to recognize when we are out of relationship or not expressing ourselves. And that's what I want you to do this week. So for you this week, my invitation is to look at every area of your life and identify where it is that you feel constraints, where it is that you feel restricted, where it is that you feel like you're not getting to be who you are. And you feel that, you feel bound. There's a part of you that wants to express and maybe even explode, but it's not safe. And that's typically what it is because it's not safe. It's not the right environment for you. Now, I'm not telling you to abandon anything. I'm simply inviting you to take a look at, and where you do not feel that you are able to express yourself, that's then time for you to start spending some time with you. And if you're not sure about what to do, I invite you to go back, and I know that at the beginning of October I did an entire series of how we get past those parts of ourselves that end up being our own blocks. Go back and listen to that. You can also join in on my 90 to Success program. That's a webinar program that I have created that is exactly that. It takes a look at ourselves from the very beginning and takes a look at why it is that we're not able to full on express ourselves and be our full selves in life. A couple of suggestions, but the idea is don't just leave it at that. Go get some help. Go get some support in working through that. If you have a guide or a mentor or a consultant or a counselor or someone in your life, go to them and say, hey, I'm not being myself in this environment. What is it I need to do? What do I need to discover? What is it about me that's playing small with my spouse or relationship? What is it about me that's playing small in my career and my business? What is it about me that's playing small in those social environments out there? Why is it? What's it about me that I'm not able to fully express myself? It may be internal work, and it may be there's some things you need to change on the outside of you. All right, so it's all about expressing yourself. So with that, this is Robb Braun. You've been joining Leading Life Large, and my invitation to you is to identify where it is that you're not able to fully be who it is that you are, the essence of you. And don't wait till tomorrow, because remember, tomorrow's not promised. We haven't got tomorrow. All we have is today. So what is it you need to do today to start cleaning those up and start figuring out who it is that you are in relationship to those areas where you're not able to fully express yourself? Don't let it go, all right? So with that, have a fantastic week. Take a look at where you may not be fully expressing yourself. All right, it's Robb Braun, Leading Life Large, signing out. Bye-bye.